Welcome, everyone, to another weekly episode of the Buffoons Podcast. My name is Jake. Joined with me, Big Al and Troy, and we're here to talk everything from sports, conspiracies, real life events, advice, you name it. So we're just going to kick things off because it's been a crazy week worth of topics here. Today's April 5th. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. But last night we witnessed something that I don't know that we've ever seen before. Jo Adell robs 3 home runs in a 1-0 win for the Angels over the Mariners. I don't know that we've ever seen anything like that. I'm going to have to, I think, just bring up the clip here in a second to,
Well, the
truly
crazy
do it
thing,
justice because any one of those 3. Yeah, go for it.
The crazy thing is that at least 2 of those, you could argue all 3, were actually home runs too. It wasn't one of those, oh, he robbed him, but it would have hit the fence.
Yeah.
Like these were all home runs, just super impressive. I've never seen it before. I think I've seen 2, but definitely not 3. The fact that it was a 1-0 game is just insane. And that's the first time in Angels history they've had a leadoff home run and them win 1-0.
I'm just going to go ahead and share it. I don't know if you're familiar with what we're even talking about, Troy, because it happened late last night. Good chance you were already asleep. But
yeah, I'm glad you are sharing this because this is news to me. So
okay,
you're going to have a live reaction on the Buffoons podcast.
That's the nice thing about, kicking it off early on Sunday mornings, right? Is anything that happens late Saturday night, for those of you who don't know, Troy gets up at like 3 or 4 a.m. for his job. So he just sticks to that routine on the weekends, right? So we got right here, Jo Adell. That's a second, like the one he falls into the stands. So here's the first one, right? Great home run robbery right there.
Yeah.
And then here's another. Wait, oh, this is the same one again, I think. Yep. So there's that first one.
Which is still a crazy.
Oh, no, I think that was the second one. Sorry. That was the second one.
The third one's the best, Troy, because that was in the 9th inning and they had, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right into the stands.
And Troy, the rule is if you catch the ball before you go over the wall, that it's an out. If you jump and you're like halfway into the stands already, it's not an out anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that was like that would have tied the game. And of course, Jake, I needed 2 more legs on my parlay, and I had Cal Raleigh and JP Crawford for home runs.
Wow, that's hilarious. But that was one of the more incredible nights I've ever seen someone have in baseball. The thing I love about baseball, and not to say this can't happen in any other sport, but the amount of defensive plays, obviously, like it happens in football all the time, but there's people that play a specific side of offense and defense, right? To see an offensive player go and make a great defensive play like that, I'm not saying that he's an offensive player, but just saying like in a sport like baseball where you're up to bat, etc., and you can see on a routine basis, even if they have a bad night at the plate, they can have an incredible night defensively like that. I mean, it was, and yeah, I want to talk about the Reds' amazing defensive game yesterday, but that is,
that just took the cake.
It just took the cake. I mean, it was one of the most incredible single performances a single player's ever had, especially in a 1-0 game. In a 1-0 game like that. So
has there ever been an outfielder that's had like 2 home run stealing plays in a game?
Yes, I've seen 2. I don't know if they were. I can't remember. Like there's been plenty of people like Torrey Hunter, Jim Edmonds, Mike Trout, just Griffey.
King Griffey
like,
Jr.
I mean, I'm leaving so many people out, but that have gotten like 2. But I don't know if they were like both for sure. Like that was going to be a home run, because sometimes they make them look like you're like, oh, he robbed him, but if he was never there, it would have hit the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and also I don't know that it's ever happened in a game where that would have guaranteed a loss. I mean, obviously, any one of those would have guaranteed a tie, but that would have been 3-1, at least 2-1.
Well, the best thing about it too is the Mariners center fielder is Julio, who is the best at robbing home runs. So it was kind of funny to see, he's the one on the, playing but not making those plays, and Adell. I couldn't believe it, dude. I was just like, this is insane. Like,
Dude,
how
when you
many
guys were
more do you
talking
have in
about
you?
that in the group chat last night, I woke up to it and I was just like, "Wait, was Adele at the baseball game, like, watching the game?" And then I, like and then I read the text close, and I was like, "Oh, I think they're talking about a baseball player. Jesus." So, I was like but no,
Like, do you
that
want me to put it into like NBA terms, dude? Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I
that would probably help me.
honestly don't know if I
No,
It
but
can.
those
would,
were some crazy plays, though. Those were, yeah,
yeah.
those were
And you've also got, speaking of MLB, right? You got the Yankees that are just rolling right now. I mean, they're they're looking like the best team in baseball through the first 10 games or so.
You can still argue Dodgers though.
Of
You can. I
course,
mean, they have
yeah.
they're only one game up, but like,
I say that because of what you said when we were texting about it, right? You're like, well, they're not even the Yankees aren't even healthy yet. I know Dodgers are missing Edmund, et cetera, but they're not missing
that's what I hate about the Dodgers,
Garrett
dude. You
Cole.
cannot pay attention to them the entire year, and then
Mhm.
you have to worry about them at the end.
Yeah.
Like they won't. Like, I know we talked about it and we said they could break the all-time win record, but they just don't seem to care. You know,
Yeah.
like they don't care until the last like couple weeks of baseball. It almost seems NBA-ish, to be honest with you. But every other team is trying their ass off and they're just like cruising.
It's true, but if there's any sport you can really get got or caught in, in the postseason, I think it's baseball. More so than NBA for sure, and I think more so than NFL.
I agree with you, but I will
NFL is only one
say,
game, so you could argue that.
Jake, I really hate to say this, but I feel like that Dodgers team, 80% of the players on it
Mhm.
at any given moment can just go, okay, I'm gonna try. Like, they don't seem like they're like they have that drive right now, but if they want to, they just turn it on.
but
Like, there's no like,
is that because they just know they have all the best players in the game, so they can just turn a switch on whenever
Yeah.
they want?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they have a yeah, because they have a couple guys on that team that you're just like, dude, you won't even hear Blake Snell until like 75% through the year. Because obviously he's not playing right now, but of course he's not playing, right? Because he doesn't give a shit. Like, the
Well,
guy
I
Yeah.
mean,
just
the one thing is they've gotten riddled with some injuries the last few years, and that's what's annoying is they've still won, and then they go out and buy
they
even
have,
more
and
guys.
I'm not even glazing them. I'm just saying, like, for some reason, it's like whenever there's a big moment, Otani just always steps up to the plate. Oh, you need 7 innings of scoreless thrown baseball and 2 home runs. I got you, coach. You know, it's like like they just do it at will. It's so weird, but I do think they have some weaknesses. Now it does suck because in the playoffs, it seems like a lot of those weaknesses go away.
Yeah. Well,
So that's my tangent.
I mean,
well,
sorry, Jake, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna give a quick betting plug and just let everyone know that currently our MLB system bets were 29-0. So we don't count losses unless we full on take a loss on that series. But as of right now, we are 29-0. So if
Yep.
anyone's interested in getting the picks, we'll link it below later after the video.
Yeah, and kind of just to follow up on this Dodgers thing, lastly, is like, if you want to talk NBA terms, I mean, I can think of multiple NBA teams like that we knew were super good, but then like come games that didn't really matter to them, they would probably just coast like the first half and then partially through the third, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, we're down by 20. We should probably start playing for real now." And then they just have that switch that they flip, and they could easily just dominate teams after flipping that switch. So I think the clearest example would be that Heat team from 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bad comparison, but it's almost like when I watch the Timberwolves play. It's like you can tell when they care and they don't. When Anthony Edwards is like, when they care, they're a way tougher team to beat. Now, that's not a good comparison because they're not. The Dodgers can do that to any team in the league,
Yeah,
basically. Whereas
yeah.
they're not like the T-Wolves aren't going to do that to OKC or the Spurs or,
No.
dude, fucking. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but dude, Jokic, man, that dude.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I don't
It's
understand how good
Well,
that dude. I
let's
don't get
talk
it.
about it. I mean, that's another great performance from yesterday that we witnessed. So I mean, let's jump right into it.
And this is not to take anything away from Wemby. I think Wemby had an amazing game too. I mean, 34, 18, and I don't remember how many assists. I
I
mean,
think
like
he had
3 or
7
something.
assists and 5 blocks. I'm just like,
Okay,
bro.
yeah, and then what? Jokic was 40 points,
40 points, like
13
13
rebounds,
rebounds.
and 7 assists or something like that. Like,
Yeah, he was a few
just
assists away from a triple-double. Yeah.
but just the 40 points is what really popped to me, because that's supposed to be his toughest matchup, right? Let's be real. Like, Wemby is just a matchup nightmare to anyone. And just because of his length, in reality, like, no one's been able to adjust to his length. I'm seeing people that are having 3-on-1 drives, and Wemby's the only player on defense, and they're literally turning around and then resetting or shooting a 3, because he blocks everything down there. And Jokic, you could tell he was putting his body on him, man. Really, you could tell he really had that, like, almost hook shot-ish, rainbow type shot, because you have to, right? Like, he's gonna block everything. And it was just really cool to see someone actually just go at Wemby. And to drop 40, that's not a normal 40-point game, against any other team. If you're trying that
Yeah.
hard, that's a 50, 60-point game right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because, like, when people talk about Wemby's defense, right? I'm just like, I feel like Jokic is the one guy that, not saying that he can counteract what Wemby does on defense, but he's a big body and he's really strong. And I think that's something that Wemby's going to struggle with until he decides to put a little more. He's put more muscle on this year, but I'm talking like, and who knows, maybe he's not going to be the type of player that's able to put a lot of muscle on his body and still be who he is, because there are certain players like that. I mean, from what we've seen, Wemby's doing just fine with or without weight, but, like, I'm just talking about the guys that are playing against Wemby and the guys that are guarding Wemby. Like, offensively, I think Wemby's going to be fine. I think defensively, Wemby's going to be fine. It's more so just like, how do we guard Wemby in a 7-game series? And what you saw last night was they put Aaron Gordon on Wemby. They didn't put Jokic on him, right? Because I don't think Jokic is fast enough to keep up with Wembanyama's athleticism. So they're like, okay, we'll put our 3-4 guy on him, and sure, he's going to give up like 7 inches on him, but at least we can keep up with them, like foot speed wise. And it's just crazy that you have to do that. I don't think I've ever seen a team put a 3 on a 5. Like, I just don't think I've ever seen that before.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm such a
maybe
big
back with
fan of
Dirk,
Nuggets.
but
Just
Dirk
what a
25.
coaching call. What a coaching call, honestly. Like, you got to try something, right? And like you said, Joker's just too slow to guard him.
Well, and the thing is Jokic uses his de-acceleration against people. Like, he is able to speed up, but he's also able to slow down. And I think that's the same thing Luka Doncic does, is he's able to get that person on his hip. And when he's got that defender on his hip, they're done. They're done.
That's
He
where
was
they want
able to
him.
do
Yeah,
that.
that's where they want him.
Was
Yep.
able to do that
Was
until
able to do that.
you know,
Yeah, but
the other
I just
day.
think Jokic is, I think, we've never seen a player like either of these guys, Nikola Jokic or Victor Wembanyama. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't have a
Yeah,
whole
I
lot to add to that. I mean, those are great great summaries there. I would just say that this is exactly why you can't count the Nuggets out in the playoffs, right? I mean, they're starting to
You
go into
can't.
playoff
Yeah.
form.
yeah. Yep.
Aaron Gordon's a great defender. I mean, when the Nuggets are playing good defense, they're a scary team, because they're going to be able to get it done efficiently on offense. But
Yeah, and Murray had an off night, in my opinion. So, I mean, they still pulled it off. But I think that's a bad matchup for him, for Murray.
I would agree, but I think it goes to
Those
show that
guards,
he can have an off night and they can still beat a really good team.
yeah, those guards are just so big for the Spurs, and they're so fast, man. Like, for their
Murray's a big
size.
guard too. Murray's a big guard too.
Yeah,
He's a matchup
he
problem for a
is,
lot of
but
point guards.
yeah,
They are, but I agree with Alex on this. Jamal Murray is a big physical guard, but the Spurs have like 3 of those guys.
I know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Spurs are going to be a problem in a
They
7-game
are.
series.
They are.
And they can
Yeah.
rotate. They don't have to, they don't have to worry about screens that much, to be honest with you. Like they have faith in those guards. So
Well, it's just like
basketball is going to be so good. This playoff is going to be really good. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it's just like when you're a team playing against the Spurs, right? Like, not only do you have to obviously worry about the anomaly, Victor-Wembanyama, but then as a guard, you're getting full press by multiple guards the entire game. That is so physically exhausting for an opposing point guard to deal with. And the point guard still has to defend on the other end. So
Yeah.
it's just the Spurs pressure you so much, and those guards are going to be a problem come playoff time, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we saw Luka and Austin Reeves go down because, listen, I know that no one was worried about the Lakers winning the NBA championship, but I do think the Lakers could have made it a problem for a couple of teams, taking them into some deep series. And I mean, I watched Luka essentially carry his team through the Western Conference into the finals a few years ago. Granted, it was a slightly weaker Western Conference at that year, but doesn't change the fact that, I mean, he's capable of having some incredible games where he just wills you to a win. So to see him go down, it's a bummer.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions as a Lakers fan because I don't want LeBron to win, but I want my team to win. And I think
And I know
I
you
didn't
like
think they were
Luka.
gonna win. I didn't think they were gonna win anyways, right? Like we didn't think they were gonna beat OKC. Like we knew that. But so in my opinion, it's like mixed emotions where it's like I at least wanted to see them battle that round one because they might have played the T-Wolves round one, and historically recently they've had our number in the playoffs. So that would have been a really fun matchup to watch. But honestly, they might have been bounced first round, like if they played the T-Wolves, So it's tough to like have too much invested when you knew they weren't going to go all the way regardless.
Totally, it's just more the entertainment factor. I think they could have.
Yeah, no, it
I think
sucks,
that
but
could have been
now
a 7-game series with the T-Wolves, right? I mean, you
here
love
we
a game
could
7.
here's the thing though that could really work out for the Lakers here that I just thought of. Um, Austin Reeves is supposed to be back for playoffs. Like that's like he's supposed to be out for the rest of the season, but he should be good. Luka, we don't know about. Probably not. But this could be really important if the Lakers are looking to trade Reeves in the offseason. Because if he goes off in the playoffs, I mean, that's just going to make his value go up a ton, even if it's only for 6 games,
That's true.
it could help them. Who knows?
I don't know, man. I think the Lakers fans and the organization have this obsession with loyalty in their franchise to a fault, in my opinion, because Kobe Bryant gave them so much. So I think they feel like, oh, well, we have to do that with these other guys because they actually want to be here. It's like, no, you don't actually have to do that. You just have to do what's best for your team. Just because Austin Reeves is a great player and he's undrafted and you found him in the pool of undrafted players doesn't mean that he has to be there for the entirety of his career. Like, if you can find a better trade, then you need to do that trade. For some reason, they're just attached at the hip with this guy. I understand he's a good player, but I've been convinced from day one that you're not going to win a chip with Luka and Reeves as your backcourt. And I'll die on a hill saying that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when you have a player on your team that was like the underdog and no one expected to be good, and then they do become good. You kind of have like an attachment to them, but none of them are Kobe Bryant. So just fucking get rid of them. Like it's like, you can't have that. You can't have that attachment. No, I'm serious. Like when you have that. Like, is Austin Reeves? Could he average 25 to 30 a year on like if he played on a different team? Sure, he probably could, but he's still no Kobe Bryant, like it's
Yeah, he's not
just
bringing
what
it
when
defensively.
he's not
not.
generational. He's not
Okay.
generational. Very
got one.
good, but he's not generational.
I got one for you before we close this one out. I'll ask you, Alex, as the Lakers fan, and I'll ask any Lakers fan that watches this podcast or that has a comment about this specific clip. Would you trade Austin Reeves for a 3-and-D elite wing? I'll end it at that.
Yeah, I would have yesterday. Like I would right in this second.
Well,
Right.
yeah, if you get the shooting that comes with Austin Reeves with a 3-and-D guy, I mean, of course,
like
you're
if you're
getting
telling me
an upgrade defensively.
if you could give me OG and Anunoby, I would straight up for Austin Reeves right now.
Okay. Well, our Lakers fan has spoken, and I cannot wait. I want to see what you guys that watch this podcast have to say about this, because
Well,
there's
Troy, I want to know, do you think that would you do the same if they OG for Austin Reeves right now? Do you think that makes the Lakers better?
I think you would need to add more pieces, but yes, if you could add more pieces, yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, but are
Yeah.
you going down? You're going down the right track, right?
You're going down the
like
right track.
yeah,
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because it just seems like Laker fans turn their backs up at me when I'm like, I think the Lakers should trade Austin Reeves. So
they and they should, but that's, and it's there's certain players that you really just get a liking towards. Like,
dude,
and Austin Reeves was one of them. You saw him sticking up for Luka just the other day when Luka went down.
I
Did you see
know, I
that?
get it, dude.
Yeah,
I have
great.
look at this hat on. What do you think I wanted the Cavaliers to trade Kyrie Irving?
Yes.
No,
I know.
You did?
I know.
No, why would I want that?
I'm kidding.
No. But things happen. Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of which, I think we're down to what, 5 games left before the playoffs begin. So
yep.
I'm excited, man. I love.
I want to say
playoff
is
basketball.
next Sunday, Troy, the final. So next week when we record our pod, that's the final NBA regular season slate of games, correct?
I believe so, and then I think they take like close to a week off, and then they start the playoffs. But I could be wrong, because Adam Silver changes things all the time to try to better the league, and he just makes it worse. So,
hey, really quick, I did hear they're thinking about adding a 1-on-1 to the All-Star next year.
That'd be great.
The All-Star week.
I've been saying that for years.
Like 1-on-1, $10 million for the winner.
I like it.
Where's
Listen, that could have been free if you would have seen Kobe Bryant playing hard.
Oh yeah.
That was just, I mean, like, he just wasn't going to lose a 1-on-1. Man, the only disappointing thing there is that'll bring up so many questions, which we'll have to probably do an entire pod dedicated to that if that ends up being implemented to the All-Star game. We'll have to do an entire pod on like who would be the best 1-on-1 player of all time, because
Kobe, end of discussion.
Well, the only reason I say that is it wouldn't have been around when Kobe was in All-Star. You know what I mean? When Kobe was in the All-Star games, when Jordan was in the All-Star games, Durant, LeBron.
Really quick. So
Durant could be a problem.
The last game of the regular season, there's like every single one of them is April 12th at 5:30 p.m. are the last regular season games, and then April 14th. April 14th is on a Tuesday, and that's when the play-in tournament starts.
Okay. So yeah, the playoff teams get a few day break, but the play-in tournament starts. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they get some time off after the playoff tournament too, though, because it looks like the first round of the finals is June 3rd. So it's almost like 2 weeks.
That's the first round that's the first game of the wait, what? Of the
finals, my bad.
Yeah, you're right. Like June 3rd. That's like,
yeah, you're right. No, I read it wrong.
Yeah, no,
you're right. Thanks, everyone. You can just call me an idiot. I don't give a fuck.
He's an idiot. He's actually not, which is why there's no excuse for that. He's saying it out loud.
Whatever, dude. Let him think I'm stupid.
All right. All right. So as we wrap up the NBA talk, I guess we'll just jump really quick into March Madness, because that we're down to our finals. We got our finals matchup. We got UConn. That's Troy's team, actually, going against Michigan. Right? Michigan took down U of A. I mean, UConn took down Duke. The two juggernauts got taken down. Not to say that Michigan wasn't a juggernaut. They're clearly the third best team in the tournament. But Duke and U of A all year long had been just real powerhouses in the regular season, only losing 2 games apiece. One of the most incredible shots I've ever seen. I mean, Duke was leading the whole game. They had a significant lead at halftime. I want to say it was like a 15-point lead over UConn at halftime. But I saw one of the most incredible shots. I mean, that's what I love about March Madness, is watching these kids get after it. I mean, a lot of those kids may never make it to the NBA. Most won't, actually, obviously. But to see some incredible shots go down like that.
Jake, I don't like blaming one particular player for a loss, because when things like that happen, if for those who didn't see what happened,
Boozer turned the ball over.
Cameron Boozer, who's going to be one of the top 4 picks in the NBA draft this upcoming June. He got the ball at half court. He decided to then pass the ball, which led to 2 UConn players jumping up in the air when he passed it, and the ball got deflected and it turned over the ball to the Huskies. If Cameron Boozer would have just held on to the ball there and shot free throws, the Duke probably would have won.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like particularly always blaming one player for a loss, because there's lots of things that you can do better that lead up to that point, right? Which puts you in a better position to win, which is why I hate the referee discussion. Like, oh, the referees were terrible at the end of the game. Well, don't put yourself in the position to have the game decided by the refs at the end of the game anyway. So this is what I kind of feel about Cameron Boozer. But in reality, Cameron Boozer is still going to be a top 4 pick. I just think he had kind of a late game blunder there. And quite honestly,
I've got it pulled up really quick if you just want me to show it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Show it super quick. But let me put it right over here. Yeah. So you got right here, obviously, we go. This is where I thought it was over. When he misses that free throw right there. I thought that was the end of the game.
Yep. So Duke gets it. Boozer gets it.
That right there. That's the...
It's just terrible.
Yeah, but then this shot right there, like, to hit that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, to Boozer's credit, like, that was an incredible shot. So, like, even though...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You gave him the ball.
I know. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, everything literally had to go perfectly right for the Huskies in that scenario, and it did, which doesn't usually happen.
Right here, he gets the ball, and I think he panicked, but he had plenty of time. They had to foul him, but right there,
And I'm sorry, right here, Jake. And I'm sorry, this was not Cameron Boozer. This was his
younger brother. Yeah, this is his brother. Yeah.
So that was my mistake. Cade. That was not. Yeah. That was, what's his name again? I forgot.
I think it's like Cade, right, or something.
It's another C Boozer.
Yeah, he could have pulled a Caitlin Clark and just thrown the ball in the air. You know, like anything other than giving it to the other team.
Yeah, but to hit this shot, I mean, how, like,
I get that, but I mean, these kids are 19, 20 years old. They haven't been in these type of games before.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to make you say though. I mean, the last 2 years, Duke has underperformed. I mean, they were what I would consider probably the favorites to win both years. And now they've lost. With them out, U of A, I thought was the favorite to win. They just got destroyed. I mean, that's another game where Michigan has just blown out their opponents, where by halftime, you pretty much knew this game's over.
Yeah, Michigan just looked like they just looked more engaged. They looked more in the game. They just looked like they wanted the game more last night. And you don't really have to know basketball to kind of see the behavior on the court. You know, like this Michigan, every guy was scrambling for balls. Every guy was hitting shots. Like, it was just, dude, it was, U of A got destroyed. And before the game, I was like thinking, I was talking to some people and I was like, man, should you putting money on U of A? They're like, yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel Michigan's really good. And I decided not to put money on either of the teams. And I'm glad I didn't, because I had a feeling about Michigan. But this next game, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's in writing. I saw you put it in writing. So I did think U of A was going to win, but I wasn't confident enough to bet on them. And to be clear, as a ASU graduate myself, I'm glad they lost. But
I don't think I was confident enough as far as like someone that follows college basketball to place a bet on Michigan. Like, if I were to have followed him more closely, I probably would have. But I'm excited for this next game though on Monday.
Yeah, and actually, sorry, just to circle back to NBA, we forgot about one topic real quick. We forgot about the fact that Cooper Flagg dropped 50 points. First teenager ever to drop 50 points in an NBA game.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say on that really quick? Obviously, it was ridiculous. I mean, we've never seen that before from a teenager. It's not the most points by a rookie all time. I think, Alex, would you say that was to Wilt? And there was a couple others on that list as well. But obviously, they were older than 19.
Cooper Flagg's the youngest player of all time to drop 50. But there's been other rookies before that have dropped more than 50 points, essentially. But Dude, I've been telling you guys this all season. I feel like Cooper Flagg will be a top 10 player next year, and I've stood by that. Like, the things he does on the court, I've never questioned him defensively. The only thing I've really questioned him is his three-point shot. But it's not like he has an ugly shot anyway. He has a nice looking stroke. So he's gonna get a three-point shot and a consistent one. Once he gets the three-point shot, consistent three-point shot, he's going to be a top 10 player. And
Yeah.
if that's next year or in his third year, it's gonna happen regardless. So
And Troy's good at judging
I
strokes.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I'm very good at judging strokes,
Yeah.
especially 6'9", 6'10" rookies in the NBA.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care if they're
Usually
white
he's
or
more
black.
but
Hispanic,
We both went to the same place. Yeah, that's so funny. Same place.
Hispanic, Asian, white, black. I'm good at judging strokes. All right.
Well, Yao Ming, you
Could have seen him with Jeremy
too high
Lin.
on. But yeah, I was just about to say the Asian.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeremy Lin.
Yeah.
Joe, Jeremy Lin had like what, dude? He had like a half a season, and then the Heat destroyed him in the regular season, and then there's no such thing as Linsanity after that.
Troy's a hater on the Lin strokes, but he's right.
You thought it was going to be another Yao Ming situation, so you were
All
just
right,
really
well,
excited.
Before this topic gets a little too far, I kind of had a little transition set from the first overall pick from the NBA into the NFL here with a little topic.
Up.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if you guys have seen this clip. This just came out the other day. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play it with audio. As a Colts fan, this is very dear to my heart. So I'm going to share this. Let me know if there's no sound. Please let me know right away. But you need to hear this, and then we'll just kind of react.
Rodgers back.
This is Eric.
Team.
Okay, this is Eric Ebron, former tight end on the Colts. He was also on the Lions. Many people know him. So I just thought this was interesting. So.
I both got bone spurs in our ankle going into 2019. His is in the back, mine's in the front. We're in cahoots about what are we gonna do.
I saw this.
Are we gonna, get the surgery? If we get the surgery, we're gonna miss the first 3 games. We're trying to win the Super Bowl this year, D-Lin. We have the best team in football 2019. They're begging me. They're like, Ebron, you can't get surgery on your ankle because we have a mission. We have something we need to do. The staff got so mad at Andrew because he was bringing them in and not listening to their protocol. Andrew then decides that he's so tired of injury and he just doesn't want to do surgery. You know who the man is around there that gets on everybody's nerves. Big draws over there behind that disc. He tells Andrew, you're either playing this year or we're moving on. Who the would tell Andrew Luck that?
That's crazy. I never knew that. That's crazy.
Andrew Luck now says, I'm not going to be ready. I'm tired of playing with pain. I retire. We all find that out, week 3, and we play in the Chicago Bears?
Mid-game, bro.
Mid-game, we find out we're not going to have our starting quarterback for that year. Andrew Luck and I both.
So,
and I'm assuming that's your owner, right?
What?
I'm assuming the guy behind the desk was your owner, right?
Well, so that's the speculation. So Eric Ebron was talking to Darius Leonard there, or Shaq Leonard, right? Probably the best off-ball linebacker Colts ever had. So I don't think that's a false story. I wouldn't imagine he's got the story wrong there. But the speculation is that it's either Chris Ballard, the current GM who's been there for 10 years, or it was Irsay. A lot of people think it was Chris Ballard.
You would think he'd be fired for that, though.
You would think, and I'm going to tell you what, if that is a true story right now, I think he should be fired for a number of reasons. Number one, like, why the hell would you say that to Andrew Luck, who I'm just going to say it right now on a quick rant. I do think they were the best team that year on paper. Now, whether or not they would have been able to overcome the Kansas City Chiefs that year, the Chiefs did some incredible things. I don't know that they would have. They had lost the year prior when Andrew Luck was healthy to them in the playoffs. But I will say this, that over the last few years, I think you would have absolutely seen the Colts making really deep playoff runs the same way that the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills have. And because that roster was stacked, especially in 2019. And if you just look at how well the Colts have performed over the last few years, it hasn't been 12-win teams, but they have been 8, 9, 10 win teams with what I would consider incredibly subpar quarterback play. And so if we had elite quarterback play, which we would have had under Andrew Luck, I think we would have been a disgusting team. But but the other reason that I think he should be fired if he did that, number one, is why wouldn't you just go to try to trade Andrew Luck then and try to get a ridiculous haul back? And I think it was Ballard and not Irsay, because Irsay let Andrew Luck keep the money in his contract. So I don't know, but as someone who still hasn't quite gotten over the Andrew Luck retirement, because we still haven't found our next, Daniel Jones is good. We signed him, but I would not put Daniel Jones near the same level as Andrew Luck. I mean, Andrew Luck, in my opinion, was the best quarterback ever to come out of college. In terms of like prospect, you could argue Elway, but I think it was Andrew Luck.
Jesus, kid, it's been like a decade. Do Troy and I have to find you a therapist?
All right. I hope nothing bad happens with Fernando Mendoza, bud. I hope nothing. You're finally about to get your quarterback. So, all right.
Okay.
No, just taking it away. I mean, we'll talk about Fernando Mendoza now, and he's got, Kirk Cousins as his mentor. So go ahead. You want to rip on my team?
Well,
At least my team's been competitive over the last few years without a quarterback. That's your team's
have
excuse.
you won?
Well, no, but we don't finish 4-12 every year.
Then shut up, dude. You have told me you would rather finish with a worse record if you don't make the Super Bowl.
I would, but that's only because then it's on your team to draft well. Your team doesn't draft well.
We do now. We have John Spytek.
So if I'm going to finish 4-12 and draft a shitty player, I'd rather go 8-8.
Okay, well, shut up. Okay, we're talking about Fernando here, all right?
Got him there.
No, but I think the Cousins signing was really good. I think people are reading way too much into the contract. It's a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
Like people think it's really a 5-year. It's not. He's going to get his $20 million, and I think the Raiders are only paying like a smaller percentage of it. I think the Falcons are eating more of it than the Raiders are for the first year. So I think it's a good pick. The thing I'm worried about a little bit is, and I'm sure Tom Brady and I'm sure Spytek and I'm sure everyone had a talk with Cousins before signing him that like, look, man, you have to be a mentor. Like you're going to start, but you have to mentor this kid. Because I know Kirk in the past has been like, I don't want to be a mentor. I want to play. I just want to play. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to let you play, but you're going to have to teach this kid because you're not our future. So do you want $20 million or not?
And I bet they only guaranteed him a few starts. Like I bet you the first 4 starts are guaranteed to Kirk as long as he's healthy. But I bet you after that, it might go to Mendoza. And I actually like that approach. I think that's a good approach.
It definitely could. I think it was a good, smart move. I think he'll learn a ton of knowledge under him, and I think it'll be good. Now, why doesn't Tom Brady just suit up and go help him out on the field, though?
Well, I mean, you saw what he said, right? Like recently, he said that he wanted to come back, but the NFL wasn't really.
They won't let him. Yeah, they won't let him. Well, he's an owner. Yeah, he can't play.
Yeah. So.
Well,
interesting though.
Yeah, and we do have a first look, I believe, at Kirk Cousins suiting up for the Raiders.
Oh, I can't wait.
Guys, we need to really applaud his agent, bro.
Oh no, totally.
This fool is like a top 3 highest paid NFL player ever in the world, in history, and
dude, he's made more money than Tom Brady as a player.
Dude, he's known more for you like that than he is for being a professional quarterback.
Hey, Kirk Cousins. Do like that.
Kirk Cousins first day as a Raider.
Fuck.
I love it, dude. I can't wait to play for my Raiders essay.
I saw the one too where it had Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza, and they just got like chains on and grills, and they're like sitting there with Crosby smoking cigars.
Oh man, that's too good. So speaking obviously of the draft, just as a reminder, we will be live on draft day, both the first day and the second day. So join us for a watch party. It's going to be a good time. We'll probably kick it off an hour or two, maybe 90 minutes before the actual draft
yeah.
starts. Then we'll be live throughout the draft to give our live reactions and talk about the picks. But speaking of that, I'll talk real quick about it's not really about the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have the number 3 pick, and there's a huge question right now as to what do you do if you're the Arizona Cardinals? You got a number of pieces you got to rebuild with, and more than likely, Jeremiah Love is going to be there at number 3, right? We don't see the Jets taking him at number 2. So the real question is, do you take a generational running back that has, you know, all the signs of being able to be a similar player to like a Bijan or something like that, or do you sit on it and trade the pick? Do you take a lineman or a D lineman? Like what do you do there? And I think it's gotten the real question that I want to talk about is the value of a running back in the NFL. I know for a long time they were not really valued. The idea was you just run them into the ground and get a new one, and you draft them in like the 3rd round or something like that. Um, but now that we're seeing like the resurgence of the running game a little bit over the last 3 to 4 years, it makes me question, do you take a running back like that? I mean, everyone's saying no. You signed Algier. They re-signed James Conner, although Conner's contract was cheap, and I mean, he's like 33 at this point. So and Algier is not a real starter. I mean, he's kind of that change of pace bruiser type back. So just want to hear from you guys. Like,
Is he
what do you think? Do you
generational?
take the back?
Is he generational?
Well, that's what people think. I mean,
Then you take him. Like look at how the Raiders did it. In my opinion, you take the best available. You take the best available. If it's a running back, it's a running back. Next year, you try to find your quarterback. You fix the O line. You have Trey McBride. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. You have a generational running back. All you have to fix is the O line and the quarterback position. You can't just keep. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and take best available. Like it's just the best way. It's the best way to go, in my opinion.
I don't disagree, but there's always the talk about trading back and getting more picks and acquiring more picks and all that, you know.
I think there's a few ways to look at it. I think there's Alex's way, but then I do think there's the other where it's like the Cardinals, let's be honest. The Cardinals have been a dumpster fire for how long, Jake?
The question is, how many seasons have they not been a dumpster fire? The answer is like 3 or 4.
Okay. So with that being said, I would, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm looking for talent. Okay. And I think if you have the chance to get the best player possible, I think that's what you need to do. Now you can say, well, look at what the Rams have done. The Rams have Sean McVay. That's the key difference there. They've found Kyron Williams in the 5th round. They found guys like Blake Corum in the 4th round. So they were able to find running backs later in the draft. So if you can do that and your draft camp is very good at finding people or players throughout the draft later in the rounds, do it. But if you're not, I think you do have to take the best available. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Rams fan. They're this glory franchise. No, I'm just trying to give another example of what you can do if you are in that position. If Jeremiah Love is available, I'm taking him. I'm taking Jeremiah Love. That guy is like, think about like the last generational running backs that there have been that people have said. I would say Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I would say
I think you got
Jonathan Taylor.
Bijan. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. You got Bijan.
I would even go as far back. I mean, I think Adrian Peterson is like on like a upper echelon. Like I think he's like a top 3 running back ever. So he's like a little above those guys, but he's still generational. So like anytime there's been talk about a generational running back, it's usually turned out to be very, very good.
Well, the transition from college to NFL is a little bit quicker too for running backs, right? I mean, yeah, it takes a little time to understand how the holes develop on stuff on the line, but it's a much easier transition than, let's say, like a wide receiver or quarterback going to the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this conversation is a little sketchy for me because last time Rams went running back in the 1st round, it was Todd Gurley, and we don't know what happened there.
But I mean, it worked out for
just
them. I
remember
mean,
you're
unfortunately, he got arthritis, but
it
he wasn't
worked
a
out for a
bust.
few
He wasn't
seasons.
but he wasn't a bust by any means. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
go for
just remember you're talking to someone whose team drafted Trent Richardson early. So
Well, see, that's where he's wrong. We didn't draft Trent Richardson. We did something even worse. We traded our fucking first-round pick to the Browns for Trent Richardson after his rookie year, which is even fucking worse.
Okay, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Alex didn't want to point out how bad it was, so he just said you guys drafted.
And then a few years later, when we finally had a first-round pick again, and we had T.Y. Hilton and Dante Moncrief, what did we do? We went out and got another wide receiver. We got freaking I'm forgetting. He ended up on the Patriots and doing okay, but he was.
Well, I'm with Alex on this. If you're the Cardinals, and it looks like Jeremiah Love's going to be
Take him.
available at 3 because it's probably going Mendoza 1. 2, the Jets are probably going defense, probably a pass rusher because there's multiple insane pass rushers in this draft.
Mhm.
And then 3, you have just about anyone you want to pick from outside of Mendoza and one of the pass rushers.
Well, and it just brings me back to, and I'll make this quick, and then we'll move on to make our fun conspiracy topic of the week. But the last thing I want to say is it reminds me of, I think it was 2023. I think it was the draft. I have to go check, but it was whatever year the Colts and the Cardinals were picking back to back. The Colts grabbed Anthony Richardson at 4, and the Cardinals were the number 3 pick. And I remember they traded the pick to the Houston Texans, who, yeah, it was the year that it was 23, because I remember it was the year that Bryce Young went number 1 overall. The Texans picked C.J. Stroud number 2, and the Cardinals traded back their pick. They traded away pick number 3 to go to pick 12. They later traded up again to go to pick 6 and draft Paris Johnson Jr., and it's been an okay pick for him. But with that number 3 pick, the Texans picked Will Anderson. And that, it just makes me think, what would the Cardinals look like with Will Anderson right now instead of Paris Johnson? And sometimes you need elite players on your team to win. Like, yeah, acquiring picks is great. Acquiring first-round picks is great. But man, sometimes being able to snag one of those top 5 players in a draft, top set, if they're a generational player, sometimes that can just change the outlook of your team for, the next 5 to 8 years. So,
Yeah.
that's, I think we'll kind of wrap it up on that, unless you guys have any other thoughts on NFL, anything you want to talk about sports related.
So we all agree they should take the running back, so they're going to trade the picks.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. We all. I don't know. I don't know that it's a clear decision, because again, there's some really great defensive players coming out. So if you can acquire more picks, it's hard not to. But boy, I can tell you personally, I would love to see them draft Jeremiah Love.
I think whoever drafts Jeremiah Love is going to be in a very good situation.
I would agree.
I would say that much. Hey guys, we had some technical difficulties with our host Jake, so I'm just recording this outro for everybody. We were on the verge of talking about UFOs and conspiracy theories, but considering the technical difficulties, we're going to now shift that episode to later this week. And moving forward, we're going to be uploading 2 full episodes per week. We'll still be doing our Sunday weekly podcast, which is usually a sports related recording. And then throughout the week, let's say, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we haven't really decided on a day yet. That'll be more so aimed for our conspiracy conversations, whether that's usually we're going to kickstart that series talking about UFOs and kind of what the direction that we think that's going. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you guys follow us all over the place: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, X, literally wherever you listen to podcasts and literally wherever you find your social media on. We are on. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We are always down to talk about just about anything. And by anything, I do mean anything. So drop a like, drop a follow. Let us know what you guys thought of this episode, and stay tuned for more content here coming up shortly. Thank you.